Hey guys, one for Vic and one for George. Vic, first off on Patrick, how do you plan on getting him on the field with your other veteran corners?
Well, as you guys know, if you're playing a lot of five defensive backs, a good bit of the time, five or more, 75 to 85% of the time. So, we'll have plenty of opportunity to get him in there.
And then for George, John Lynch in San Francisco said tonight he did reach out about Aaron Rodgers. Was there any conversations between you and Green Bay today?
We're just going to focus on the draft right now, and focus on Patrick Surtain and what a great player he is, and we're excited to have him here.
For Coach Fangio and George, what did you see with Surtain in terms of his technique? It doesn't look like he's scheme dependent. And are you finished with the quarterback position? Where does it stand with Teddy coming in?
Yeah, we're happy with the two quarterbacks we have here, and Drew's, like I've said, Drew's been working hard every day. Teddy's going to bring, some experience to the room, some leadership. So we're really excited for both quarterbacks. We're always looking at every position, and quarterback's another one, but we like the two we have.
When Fields was on the board there, was there temptation? Were you surprised he dropped?
Yeah, we had these discussions before the draft in all our meetings. Was I surprised he dropped? Maybe a little bit, but we set our board, and Surtain was really high on our board.
Yeah, first for Vic, George has addressed all the defensive needs this offseason so far. How good do you think this defense can be next season when you look at the depth that you guys now have at corner and then also up front?
Well, I'll be better able to answer that question, at some point in training camp or towards the end of training camp after we have a good bit of time to work with the guys as a unit, play some preseason games. But obviously I like the group we have, and hopefully when you ask that question in late August, early September, I'll give you a really good positive answer.
And for George, how much did John Elway play a role in evaluating the rookie quarterbacks in this class, and how much was he maybe a voice in the war room?
Yeah, John had a big role in all the positions and had a big voice, and he was involved in the process. He sat in all our meetings. He was a sounding board for me, for Vic, on these players, that all the players we discussed through our meetings. So he was great.
George, I just wanted to ask if, after you make the trade for Teddy yesterday, was quarterback still in play as the first rounds?
It was. Quarterback was in play, definitely. And, the board just kind of fell where Surtain was there, and we couldn't pass him up. He was just too talented, too unique, too good off the field, too good on the field. I'm familiar with his dad, his family. It was a home run for the Broncos to get Patrick Surtain.
Would you say if he was a top 5 player on your board?
Yeah, he was close. He was close right there. He's definitely, we thought he was the best defensive player on the board, and I can't remember exactly where he was, but no, we were surprised he was there, and we're happy that we have him.
You're saying he was your best defensive player?
He was.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Vic, I just kind of wanted to ask you your kind of evaluation and impression of Surtain, just what you think he brings to the table.
Me?
Yeah, yes, sir.
What I like about him is that he was shown that he's very capable both in man and zone. I think he has good eyes, meaning that he sees more than just the guy he's lined up on. Good tackler in the running game, has good ball skills, and I think he has the versatility, although we really haven't seen it on tape, but everything we know about him and what he's shown, there's a chance that I think, good chance that he can play inside too if we need him to, meaning as the 5th or 6th DB.
George Paton, how close was your top 8? Did it play out as you expected, coming out right to you at 9?
Pretty close. It really did. It fell pretty much the way we thought. We thought Patrick would probably be gone when we were picking. We had a lot of teams, 3 or 4 teams calling us for us to trade back. We were in those discussions as we were on the clock, but again, it would have taken a haul to pass Patrick Surtain.
George, you said that you are happy with your quarterback room right now.
Yes.
Do you feel that you can improve it this offseason?
You know, I'm happy with our room right now. You know, are we going to look at every position? Certainly. Are there quarterbacks just hanging out? Not many, you know, if any. So we're good. We're good to go. We're good to open the season with the 2 or 3 we have right now.
But you're open to improving it.
We're open to improving everywhere.
Hey, George, couple of things. First of all, didn't trade back into round 1, so just were there no guys that dropped that you liked in round 1? And also, how is the board looking heading into round 2? Are there any round 1 graded guys left on your board?
Yeah, that's a good question. There was a player that we were trying to get that was falling. He just didn't fall far enough. So we were in discussions with teams. We needed him to fall, you know, in the mid-20s for it to make sense. And before Vic and I came out here, we just sat with the scouts, and we really like our board, you know, for our second pick. I think there's 8. We're picking 8th in the round, I believe, and there's 8 players we really like. So we're going to get a good player tomorrow.
I guess for both of y'all, Vic, if you talk to Drew, but George, I'll start with you. How did Drew take the Teddy news in any conversations y'all have had?
Right. Vic and I met with Drew together, and, you know, I was up front with Drew. Vic was up front with Drew from the day I arrived and told him, you know, our goal is to bring in competition to the room. And he embraced that from the day one. We talked to him yesterday. He embraced it. He wasn't fazed a bit. He embraces the competition. He was great. You know, he's nothing phases him. He's on a mission this off season. Like I said last time I spoke with you, he's here every morning. He stays late, and so he's doing all the right things. And you know, we're excited just to see his progress as we move forward.
I had 2, but for both of you, is Teddy Bridgewater the kind of player, even if he didn't win the competition, would help Drew? This is my first question.
No doubt. Teddy's an incredible person, credible teammate. He's going to try to win the job. And if he doesn't, he's going to be a great mentor towards Drew.
Vic, just your interactions with Teddy so far?
Yeah, obviously my interactions have been limited. Him just, you know, he came in today, talked to him yesterday. But, you know, George had a lot of experience with him. Pat knew him some from his time in Minnesota. I know some people that Teddy's very close with, and they all verbatim say the same thing, that he's a great teammate no matter what role he's in.
And then, George, I was just curious, do you have any first-round players left on your board right now?
We do. Yeah, I think we have 3 or 4 that are still on our board. So let's just hope they fall.
Hey, Vic, preparing for Teddy last December in Carolina, what stood out about him on tape?
I was impressed by him because I remember, I think the last time I had coached against him prior to that was prior to his injury in Minnesota. So I hadn't seen him in a while. And he looked the same to me. You know, I didn't see any issue with him physically. He's young for his age. He's definitely overcome the injury that he had back in Minnesota. And I thought he played good for Carolina. I was impressed with him studying that whole entire week.
George, you know Teddy too, obviously, from drafting him. Is he a guy that can help an offense get to, you know, that magic number of 23, 24, 25 points a game, which seems to be kind of that line of demarcation to be a playoff team?
Yeah, I don't know how many points he can produce, but when you watch him on tape, the game is really easy for him. He moves the team. He plays with in rhythm. He makes the players around him better. So sure, I mean, we like the way he plays, and like I said, he makes the receivers. He throws on time. The offense is in rhythm, and he moves the team. You know, and that's what we liked when we watched him on tape.
And last thing, with Callahan, what is the reports on his foot? I mean, maybe Vic knows. Was that at all related to the Surtain pick? Do you expect Bryce to be healthy?
Yeah, he's 100% right now and ready to go.